Hi guys and girls, welcome back to my channel. I do hope you're doing well. As you can see, we are back in the bed. We are back in the comfies, but I do have a little throw over my legs, guys, because it's slightly turning chilly for my nightshirt. But it is this month's Sit Down with Shan, and this month, guys, it's all about stress. What triggers us, what we do to deal with it, experiences, because I feel with everything in the world right now, it is a very stressful time, and I can't lie, I have been having to practice what I preach and put some of the ways that I deal with stress into action, because this month has already been such an eventful month, and I'm like, I wish that this was a pina colada. It's not. It's water and juice. But yes, if you want to get involved in any of these sit down with Shans, scandals, mukbangs, anything like that, guys, I do have my private email down below. Send a message in, and then what I do is I save you as a contact, and then I bulk send whenever I have these questions come up, and you can send them all in. They all stay anonymous, or you can contact me over on AllThingsShannonLeighxx, which is my Instagram. It's always down in the descriptions box below. But as I say, yes, this month it is all about stress, how we deal with it, what makes us stress, how do we get on with it, and I feel like it could be a long one. So get comfy. I'm going to reposition myself so I'm more comfy on myself, and let's get in with the video, shall we? Right, so if you know these videos, I sometimes move around position, I sometimes stay in one bit. I just have to get comfy because we like to sit here and have a good chin wag. So yes, if you are new here, you might see a lot of my fidgeting, but we're going to get in with it. So let's kick off. What have we got on here? What have we got on here? I try not to stress about things as it affects my illness, and stress is a killer. Life is too short. Life is too short indeed. You know what? I'm just going to move that out. That's very distracting, isn't it? That's huge. You can stay there. It is too short. You never know when your number's up. And I'm very much someone of, if you want it, do it. We obviously cannot do everything that we want. I mean, I would love to be jet setting around the world now with no financial responsibilities, but I can't do that. I can't do that, I'm afraid. So life is too short. So we have to make the most of it as we are, and not let the silly little things affect us. I've definitely gotten better with that, I would say, over the years. I have always had the tolerance to just be done with people, which isn't a actual good thing to do, as my therapist kept telling me. She was like, that's not a good coping mechanism, Shannon. That is a trauma response. And I'm like, yada yada yada. But I am very cutthroat. I think I can turn feelings off like that, whether you be friends, family, anything at all. I'm like, I can go very cold. And now my thing is like, if you can't control it, why are you letting it stress you out? Why? You can't control what someone says about you. You can't control people's opinions about you. But if it literally does not affect you or doesn't have any impact with your life, why are you bothering? People can sit there and spout their opinions, and people can say this and say that. It doesn't matter. As long as you know what is right and wrong in the situation, or what was said and done, that's all that matters. So I definitely do now have a thing of, I'm like, you can just stand at the side and weep. Like, I actually don't care anymore, and please or offend, but I have learned as I've grown up that sometimes dealing with stress, the best way to deal with stress is to stay quiet, like silence. I think silence is the best response you could give things in. Oh, I do apologize, guys. Silence is the best thing that you can give in certain circumstances, and I think sometimes silence is worth more than voicing an opinion. But don't get me wrong, there are times when people need to voice their opinion, and you may have to get a little bit stressed out, but I do think that silence is the golden killer / winner. You know, people say kill them with kindness. I kill them with silence, because I'm just like, not entertaining it. And I think people in this day and age, they do things to goad people, and I just think, why? What satisfaction do people get out of stressing others or putting unwanted opinions and that? It actually does nothing. So yeah, my thing, I'm with you there. Life is too short, and don't let it stress you, honestly. Another one of my lovers says, read, read, and read. It's the best distraction for me. I can 1000% agree with this. Reading for me is such a switch off. Like, it doesn't matter what's going on, I can pick up a book and I'm instantly immersed in that book. So because things have been busy this month, I'm still yet to finish my Never Will I Die. I think I've got 2 chapters left. But when I read that, like, I like it to be quiet because I get so engrossed in it. And where it's a true life story, I also put a lot of things that he says into perspective. And you do realise what is worth stressing over in life and what isn't. You think someone that can overcome all of that, and then you have such trivial things of people moaning about nonsense, to be perfectly honest, sometimes. And yeah, reading for me, I'm like, to the point where we was out in Blue Water the other day, and we walked into Waterstones because I said, I just want to see what's new and about. We actually toured the whole of the Waterstones and was in there, I think, for well over half hour, maybe 40 minutes, just looking at all the different categories of books. And I'm like, I'm very much I love my crime. True crime and crime that's my go-to. I can't help it. People may say that's weird. I like it. I'm not really one for the lovey-dovey books, but also I quite like real life books. So in terms of cookery books, love a good cookery book. Travel books, like the amount of travel books I already have, really looking up there, like my little London books and that, there's a hell of a lot more. Like, I want the world ones. Books that we think we may get into. Dan really loves gardening and like foraging and dealing, like listening with the birds and that. So we're going to get, I think, quite a few like nature books. And then we was looking into biographies. Then we looked at the games part, and oh my god, Waterstones, like we were standing there like we could do damage here. We could actually do damage in a bookstore. And a lot of history books. So yeah, reading for me, doesn't matter what you read, everyone has their niche, whether you like the rom-com, whether you like the sci-fi, the thriller, the crime, whatever book you read, I think people do instantly get into it. I think there's nothing worse than when you're trying to read and someone's like, oh, yeah, and butting in. I'm like, reading is my quiet time. Like, let me just read in peace, please, because that's what I need to do. One of my lovely says, stress is short time. Let it pass and start again. I understand that. So what sometimes causes people to be stressed, and then when you have the outburst, once it's done, it like fizzles. It just calms. And you think sometimes you've been brewing for so long over a certain something, and for it to be over, you think, was it really worth the stress? That's why, as I say, my one is now, if I can't control it, let them get on with it. Like, literally, if it's something that I can control and I'm getting stressed about, let's say, for example, you're running low on your petrol and you're driving and you're trying to find a petrol station, that you can control because you shouldn't have let it get to the last like little quarter. But if, say, it's someone spouting their opinion of you, that has no relevance. That has no relevance to you. And why bother? If that makes that person feel better, you carry on. You carry on. Say what you want, do what you want, but it's not going to affect my life. And I think that is the thing as you're getting older. You definitely realise that your circle gets smaller. And as I say, I can count on one hand the people I trust and the people that will be in my life moving forward. And there's a lot of people that like to have 10s and 20s of that, which if you've got a good circle, kudos to you. But I feel like bigger circles, there's a lot more snakes in the grass. And there's a lot more room for bitchiness and cattiness. And I'm just not about that. I'd rather have minimal and keep my circle tight than have it overflowing, say, for example. Let's have a look. Oh, guys, I changed my background. What do we think? I bet you it's going to adjust just as it turns off. That's great, isn't it? Let's see. Will it adjust? It's a like an Indonesian map. You can't see it at all, can you? No, it's not working. But it's an Indonesian map because I would love to do Indonesia. Right. One of my lovely says, I have ADHD, so I find it hard, but sometimes by telling myself I can't control everything. Domestic violence, I also have cerebral palsy. Why do people say they do things when they say it's love? So with that, I do believe like ADHD and certain... Oh god, sorry guys, I've got such an itchy eye. And certain things like that, it's hard for people to maybe not get so stressed out because they may be like easily wound up or things like that. And I don't think that's fair. Like, I definitely do not like when I see people picking or targeting people because of something like that. Like, I'm the first person to be like, if you want to pick on someone, come pick on me. Like, I don't believe in that, because when your brain sometimes does its own thing, we're not in control of our brains. And the brain is another thing. Like, I could talk into biology and everything like this, but the brain is such a complex muscle organ that we haven't even developed yet. I think they say we use something like 4 or 5% of it. Can you imagine what the brain could actually be capable of? And I just think it's not fair with that. And as I say, I find you have to be, I don't know, I think in this day in life you just have to be more understanding and more patient with people. I think everyone's so rush and people don't have the patience to maybe repeat something once or twice, and there's nothing wrong with that. With regards to the domestic violence, and people say they do this and they say it's love, I don't care what category. I think we spoke about this in the relationship sit down with Shan. I don't care what category someone tries to put it in, but any form of abuse to a partner is not love. You hear excuses of, I'm doing it because I love you, it's only love. No, absolutely not. Me and Dan saw a TikTok ages ago, and I think it sums it up perfectly, but there's a line. And it says that love is an obsession, and if you've never been like that involved with someone, it's not love. However, you have to know your boundaries, and you have to know when love turns into things that it shouldn't do. And I think there's never an excuse to lay a hand on either party, male or female. I know that one side is always predominantly spoke about and the other side isn't, which I don't think is right, because I think it takes two to tango and it happens on both sides, and anyone involved in that needs to be held accountable. I could not, no, that's not. And as I say, for me, hands down, that isn't love. That is narcissism, that's abuse, and that is not something to be involved in. If I was ever in that situation where it got to a point like, and you always see people think they'll change, and I get that. I'm all one for giving people second chances and everything, but you have to think of yourself and you have to think of your safety, and unfortunately that's not love. People may think that that's an unpopular opinion, but I don't think it's love. One of my lovelies says, work has been very stressful lately, but I got nice customers who are regulars and they make me laugh. That's good. There's nothing worse than having a stressful home life and then going to work and be stressed. Am I right? Like, it's literally, you think, oh God. Sometimes people use home as an escape from work, or work as an escape from home. You don't want stress on both sides. So I'm very glad that you have regular customers that make you laugh. Oh my goodness, I love this. A boxing bag and people's faces on it. Two-faced people and fake people boil my blood. Hear, hear. Number one, I would love to have a boxing bag. Love, love, love to have a boxing bag. People's faces on it, there'd be too many for me to stick on the bag, I think. But two-faced and fake, yeah, I don't deal with that. I think everyone is adults. If you have something to say, confront that person directly. I think we're in a day and age where it's so easy to sit behind a computer screen and troll someone or text someone. There's very rarely verbal over the phone or face-to-face confrontation nowadays. It all seems to be online, through messenger, email, whatever form of contact apart from face-to-face. And I am very much, I'm not a part of that. If I feel someone is being two-faced or fake to me, I will call it out. I have no bars held. You know the thing when you say what you can't control and keeping your circle small? I'm not having anyone in my circle that could do that. I know the people in my circle are like my ride or dies. And two-faced, I don't see the point in being two-faced. It's like, I don't like you, but I'm going to be nice, and then I'm not going to like you after, and I'm probably going to slag you off. You're probably like going to be the punchline of some WhatsApp group or whatever. Like, no, that's not about it. And if you're fake, fakeness always comes through. Fakeness, you will not be able to keep that facade forever. So, clock tick-tock. Clock tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. Because time runs out when you be fake. Because sooner or later that persona drops And I don't see the point. I get people sometimes have alter egos. I mean, look at mine. Mine's Shaniqua. But Shaniqua is literally the other half of me. Shaniqua is when Shannon loses the rational sense of anger and goes 0 to 100. But neither that or Shaniqua, Shaniqua, like I'm a little double person, neither of us are fake or two-faced. Shaniqua is very, very direct. Shannon is direct. Shannon has the rational head, though, as to when to say something or when to just walk away. Shaniqua doesn't have that. And again, as I'm getting older, I notice that Shaniqua doesn't come out as often, but when she does, and she blows. Shannon is very good now. I keep my rational head on and I literally laugh. If someone thinks that by doing something or saying something it's going to get a reaction out of me, I will laugh. If people want to be fake with me and two-faced, I will read through it straight off. I will read through it and I will laugh and be like, don't save yourself the problems. Like, come on, it's okay. But yeah, I fake people and two-faced. Hell to the no from me. I'm with you there, my lovely, okay? Let's have a look. Due to being sensitive, anxiety is a problem. I meditate for half hour every day and drink Twinings. Oh, okay. I like the sound of that. I do love a Twinings fruit tea. What would you say is your favourite fruit tea? If you drink fruit teas, like I'm partial to a peppermint. Dan loves a lemon and ginger. We both don't mind a red berries, but there is one from Twinings that I tried the other day, peach and orange. That was actually very nice. And apparently there is one mango and raspberry that everyone raves about. So I need to try and find that. But yeah, definitely I love a fruit tea. One of my lovelies says, shop, shop, shop. Oh my goodness, what I would do to just be constantly shopping, eh? Shop, shop, shop. That used to be Shannon's coping mechanism, but can't really do that when you need to be an adult and grow up in life. I mean, I probably shouldn't have been doing it back then, but hey ho, these things happen and we're all young and silly once, eh? One of my lovelies says, for me, it's walking outside in the fresh air. Now, if I'm stressed or I have headache or I feel like I need to get out of somewhere because I'm going to erupt, walking for me. No headphones, nothing. I just like listening to, I would say nature. I don't really have nature in my village. It's normally car horns, sirens, shouting. So like, you know, your lovely tranquil noises. But definitely walking. Walking just gets you, it gets you your steps, it gets you your cardio, it improves your fitness, and it also is a great way to just clear the mind. I always find as well, walking and long car journeys are the best times if you've got something eating up at you to get it out. Whether you're calling someone, hands-free of course if you're driving, or whether you're with someone, or whatever it is, whether it's just even maybe thoughts with yourself. I think that going on a walk and also a long drive is the best way to hash out any differences, you know. And yeah, I think that is definitely the way forward. I'm going to have a little sippy and then we'll come in for part 2. There we go. Right, one of my lovelies says, journaling, getting your thoughts onto the paper really does help to clear the mind. And I'm with you there as well. You guys know me, I have my 3 big black books, which are my life and saviour at the times that I need to. It keeps me grounded. I also have my 1 line a day, my 5-year planner. They are things that I have for stability, I have for consistency, like organisation, and also it's a great way to write things down, what you're grateful for. So I have the self-care Bible, I have the fitness Bible, and I have my day per page 2024, which, as I say, without those 3 things, everything can get a little chaotic. But yeah, journaling definitely, whether that's journaling on your phone, just like typing it in your notes, whether that's writing an email and never sending, or whether that be an online journal, whether that be a physical pen paper journal, even just a notepad or a scrap of paper. Definitely by getting it off your chest. That's definitely how I think it is a way, because you offload, and by offloading you clearing the mind and you're venting in a way. You're venting to yourself as you're writing it off onto the paper or typing it away, however you communicate with it. But it definitely gives you like a breather, you know. One of my lovelies says, definitely taking breaks from work and going on holiday. A holiday mode makes you forget all your worries. Oh my god, tell me about it. I would love to have holidays weekly. Some people say that's your weekend. No, I'm talking like 3-4 nights a week. I do like 50-50 of work and 50-50 of travel. Holiday mode is immense. You know what's not immense? Holiday blues. Because then you're like, oh, on to the next one. So my advice, always have something booked. Doesn't have to necessarily be a holiday. It can be a day out. It can be a meal. It can be absolutely anything. But just have something to look forward to and something that kind of gives me a reason. So like, okay, I'm doing this for this, you know. But I'm all with you there, my lovely. All with you. Living with Crohn's disease, how I deal with life, and I just don't let anything bother me at all. You go. You do that for you. I love that. Just not letting anything bother me at all. Amen to that. 100% yes, please. Lighting a candle, bath and hoodie, and munch on food. Oh my goodness, that sounds like the perfect night for when it's Mother Nature. You know, when it's that time of the month and you're just like, no, I can't be dealing with this. Cannot be dealing with this. Hoodie, I actually do have a proper hoodie now, I can say that. I love that. I have a unicorn one. If anyone else has an hoodie, let me know down below. But bath, you know me guys, I'm a bath addict. I love my baths, whether I'm having a chill one, or whether I want all the glitz and glamours with the salts and the bombs and the soaks and gels, everything like that. And then food. Munching on food, absolutely love. And someone says, enjoying your try on videos. I mean, thank you. If that helps you de-stress, thank you indeed. Right, let's have a look. One of my lovelies sent a couple of posts in via message, and it says in response to your stress post, the 6-minute diary, which is a gratitude journal. So you know how we said about journaling, and I have my 1 line a day, which is you writing it at the end of every day, and you say like what you're grateful for or a memory of the day, but underneath there's like enough for 5 years. So I've obviously been on mine now for 2 years, and it's weird because I'll read sometimes what I said in 2023 and I'll instantly go back to that place, and I'm like, I remember. Oh, pardon me. I actually remember that, like the time or whatever happened, or another memory day with mum. And I said, I think it would be very fun to get them, and I think I would actually keep them, because I could literally just go into, say, the memory box, pick one out and be like, random day. Oh my goodness, look what happened in that over 5 years. Hey, look what happened in that. And they sent one, and it's the 6-minute diary, and it's from Amazon. Now, Canon, are you going to focus? There we go. You might have actually seen this online, guys. I think they're getting very popular now. 6-minute, 5 years, everything like that. And they say, this book really helped me deal with a very stressful and negative time when I found myself in a downward spiral, becoming overwhelmed. I really recommend it, and it takes about 3 minutes in the morning and 3 minutes at night. It's all about gratitude and manifesting and really self-analysing to be better and live a life you want to live. It makes a great point at the beginning too, that a human body thinks and then feels. It doesn't feel and then think. So our bodies are programmed. Whatever this says, we feel in response to what that says. It's not the other way around. We don't think of it because of how we feel. It's vice versa. And that's made me realise that I feel stressed and that I need to flip my thinking and work on what I'm thinking in order to feel differently. I love that. So as it says, because your body acts off of a feeling after a thought, if you're thinking stressful thoughts, your body will reciprocate that. If you're thinking maybe it's not the greatest time, your body will be a bit iffy. So it's all about changing the mindset, which I really like. And looking at that, it says 3 minutes a day. No, not 3 minutes, 6 minutes a day, 3 minutes a morning, 3 minutes a night. I might actually look at that for myself. I might do another one. I'll have another one in addition to me journal with me 1 day at a time. One of my lovelies says, hey Shannon, hope you're all well. I have had epilepsy since I was 14 and was first diagnosed as photosensitive. Then I was properly diagnosed at 18 with stress-related epilepsy. Now, Nana G had epilepsy. I'm not too sure which type she had, but she did have epilepsy. I found that in the past, if I went out with my mum or dad, the best way at keeping my stress levels at bay. Oh no, sorry my lovelies, I've misread that. they said that they found out that if they went out with their mum or dad, that was the best way to keep them stress-free. So almost because it's like the comfort blanket, I think, or like the barrier of what you're used to, or like what you're happy to be surrounded by. Like, you guys know me, if I'm in my little comfort circle, I'm okay. If I go out into situations that I'm a bit like, ooh, don't quite know how I'm feeling about this, like I can get a bit apprehensive and not awkward, but like I assess situations and I look around and I look at who's around me, what they're doing and everything like that. I get very over analytical. So if you have your parents around you, obviously you're feeling better because it's like it's a comfort for what you're used to. I have since been able to make sure I stay calm and not put myself in stressful situations and try thinking of outcomes as good results. If I do get to a point where I feel my stress levels rising, then it's best that I just sit down or move away from the problem and come back to it later on. Definitely. I feel as well, when you're stressed, the worst thing you can do, and hands up, I do it, is pace. Because as you're pacing, you're building yourself up. And you're getting more and more agitated and more stressed and more worked up, instead of just sitting and being like, let's just take a breather for 5, you know, let's just sit down, chill, relax and see what we can do, and then assess from a different point of view. Doesn't really work like that, does it, guys? I think, let me know if you're like me and you're a pacer. Like, I can feel myself getting more and more worked up with every step, but I can't sit my tush down because I'm like, nope, I'm getting agitated, I've got to go now. I'm so happy when I go out with my partner regularly, and he also helps me stay calm, and I don't know what I'd do without him by my side. He's been so understanding and taking things one step and a day at a time. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Anytime, my lovely. And I'm so happy that you have a partner that you're, again, in that comfort circle with, like you was with your parents. You're happy to be at ease and there's no judgment and you're just coasting along, living a stress-free life. And I love that for you. And the last one, my lovelies, says, love you loads too. Stress. I did know what the trigger would be and I thought I had it all sorted, but some so-called family members have found a way to get through. I don't do Facebook, Twitter. My sister does, but has put all the settings to private. See, and that's a very big thing, I think, in this day and age. Privatize your social media, because people will think they can pop up, and I've had it where you'll think that you've blocked someone and then they pop up, or someone blocks you and then they unblock you. I think personally just a snoop, and think that you won't realise it. I realise everything on my social media. So if someone blocks me and then unblocks me, if I don't want that person in my life, or I think you've literally unblocked me for a reason, probably to snoop and be nosy, you're getting blocked back. Because then that way, I know that I will never remove that block. I don't get people who block for a time period, then remove it, then block. I can't be bothered with it, guys. I just think, nope, not at all a chance. So I'm glad that you've your sister's put it to private, and they still found a way, and it's all done because of her upset and I get stressed. Right now, it seems no matter what we do, they find a way, and the only thing I have control of is the neighbours from hell. I turn the TV up to 40 and they soon stop, but it's not very often now. I'm with you there on the nightmare neighbours, but there are ways and means. Like, it's not a case of saying if you block someone, they can never find you again. There are people in this world that will create fake account upon fake account upon fake account. And for what satisfaction? I have no idea. I can't answer you that, guys, because I've never been that person. I've never been in the situation where I think, you know what, I'm going to set up a fake account just to stalk someone. And I don't see the point. That's why I would have everything privatized. The only Instagram that isn't privatized is AllThingsShannonLeighxx, because that is my platform with you guys on Instagram. But my personals, anything like that to do with me, that is all privatized, because yeah, I just think you have to be careful as to who can see information about you nowadays. And if it's people that you don't really want and you don't need to see, privatize the lot out of it, because as I say, there'll only be a way. They might be able to get around it, but even if they then go and make a fake account, what are they actually going to see? Maybe a profile picture, because you will have to accept any type of request on a private one. And if you look at it and think, I don't know them, or that looks a bit dodgy, you're not going to accept, are you? And my lovelies, that was all of the questions. As I say, stress, Who is she? We don't need stress in our life, my lovelies. That is one thing for sure, let me tell you that. But I do hope you've enjoyed this month's episode. As I say, if you do want to get involved, my email is down below, or you can get me on my Instagram. I will normally put them up on Instagram stories around middle of the month. Gives me time to see the response, whether it's going to be a vibe or whether we've got to chuck it out and do a new one. But yes, guys, if you did enjoy the video, you know what to do. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe down below, and leave me a comment. If you haven't heard or seen anything that related to you for stress within this, let me know how you deal with it, or any pics or twerks or tips and twerks. What am I saying? Any tips and tricks, not pics and twerks. Oh goodness gracious, guys, it's been a busy weekend and my head is pretty mumbled, and I'm a little bit sleepy, so I think I'm gonna have a nap. Sleeping is great for stress, because you know what, you close your eyes, you doze off, and you're not part of it anymore. But guys, take care, stay safe as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.